Hello everyone, this is Adnan from Black Button Geeks. Today I'll be going through the brand new case from Corsair, the Graphite 780T. It's a full tower case. Give us a few minutes until we open this big boy up and stay tuned. Before diving into the case, let's see the levels of protection that this case came with. First level is of course this foam. Let me remove it. Then we have this nice matte cloth that is meant to protect the case from scratches. During shipping you can have a lot of scratches. Let me remove it. Now we have a lot of tapes that needs removal. Let me remove all of them and I'll come back to you. We start from the front of the case where we have this beautiful new curvy look. This is a renovated model from the older Graphite 600T. But it was changed a little bit. The Graphite 600 had 3 drive bays. This one has only 2 drive bays for optical drives, because many people don't need the drive bays nowadays. Many people have a whole build without any optical drive. Then we have this nice beautiful mesh in the front side with the Corsair logo on it. If we remove this, it's easily removable. We can see it has nice dust filter on it. Okay. Then we have these 2 fans. These 2 fans come along with the case. Both of them are LED lit. This white model comes with white fans. The black model comes with red fans, and the yellow model also comes with white fans. Both of them are 140 millimeters. If you don't like this size, you can remove it and install either a single 200 millimeter or 3 120 millimeter fans. This front side can take a radiator of the size up to 360 millimeters. So you have a nice place for water cooling here. You can fit one of your radiators in the front side. Of course, these fans are meant for intake, to take the cool air inside your case. Moving to the rear of the case, it's nothing outside the typical or the normal, but it is big. We can see 9 expansion slots. So even if you have 4-way graphics cards, either SLI or Crossfire, you are still having 1 extra slot to put anything, a fan controller or anything else. You have the area for your I/O panel. You have 1 exhaust fan, which is 140 millimeters. We'll see it from inside that it is a moving fan. You can move it up and down, which is really nice and new feature. You have some area here which is not marked as exhaust or intake, and it is without a filter. Personally, I don't like this. Then you have your power supply area here, and you have 2 grommets here that to have any custom water cooling that requires your tubes to go outside your case. Now this is not very common nowadays, because most of the people, when they do water cooling, they do it inside the case. But if you still need this, you need to break these 2. This is to be noted. Moving to the top side of the case, we had to put the case on the side so that you can see the top area. In the top area, we have a power on switch, which is inspired by car industry. It looks like a car power on switch. We have a fan controller for the built-in fan controller that came with the case. It has 3 levels. Then we have 2 USB 2 ports, 2 USB 3 ports, and 1 reset button. Now the reset button is not pinned. It's not those small kind of reset buttons where you need to put some effort to reach it. This is easily pressable. So you can easily press it by mistake while trying to put a USB 3 stick here in this port. This is not good. Then you have the front audio jacks, your mic and speaker jack. Opening this nice beautiful mesh here, I can see that it hosts inside a nice dust filter for your intake, and a place to host 3 120 millimeter fans or 2 140 millimeters. Moving to the bottom side, you have 2 dust filters. One under the power supply, which is really useful because your power supply will be either intaking, rather intaking a lot of dust. And then one here under the drive base, where you can install an optional fan here, 120 millimeters. Moving to the side panels, I'll start with the rear side panel, which is non-transparent. There's no point making it transparent. When I open it, I can see a huge potential for cable management. I can see a lot of rubber grommets. I can see a lot of these small notches where you can tie your zip ties. And I can see something really nice. 3 2.5 bays where you can host your SSDs. Now these are really handy, even for show-off, because you paid a lot of money for your SSD. It's really worth showing off. If you put it this way, it will be really visible from the other side where it is transparent. Why not? And it also prevents it from mixing with the other parts which really produce more heat. So there is a technical benefit. It's not only for show-off, but it's really neat and handy to have this. Now these are 3. I would prefer it if they made it 4, like some of their other offerings, like the 750D, because some people might require to go RAID 1/0 or RAID 10, which will require a minimum of 4 drives. But 3 is still fine for most of the users. Moving now to the most important part, the transparent side panel and the interiors. Opening this, you can see it has a plastic cover here for protection. You can of course remove it once you start using it. Let me see the interiors. And it is really beefy interior. Okay, starting with those cables, lots of cables are hanging around here. We have the front audio cable, a USB 3 connector, a USB 2 connector here, and lots of cables for your fan controller. The built-in fan controller can take up to 5 fans, and it can be powered either by a SATA power cable or a Molex, depending on your availability in your power supply. Now, in addition to this, we have also 2 cages. Each cage can host 3 3.5-inch drives. One of them is hosting our cables actually and the accessories. Okay. Putting it back. Okay. Now, what I noticed with these cages, this particular drive bay has a little bit of flex to it. It's not really that sturdy. This being something to host a 3.5-inch mechanical drive is not really that good. It should be really more hard than this, because mechanical drive has a lot of moving parts. You need some stability for that. But to solve this, you have an option to install screws. You can either put the mechanical drive as it is or install additional screw to make it more stable in its place. You have 2 5.25-inch drive bays. These are meant for your optical drives, but keep in mind, the top area can host up to a 360mm radiator. If you put a 360mm, which is 3 times 120mm, you will reach up to here. So your first drive bay will not be usable by any optical drive. But if you use a smaller radiator, like 280 or 240mm, or even 90 or 80mm, then you are fine. The expansion slots are here. Of course, the area of the motherboard is huge. It can host the standard ATX, XL ATX, or extended ATX, which is eATX, which is the same height of the standard ATX with little bit width to it. The rubber grommets here are good enough for cable management, and as you saw on the back side. With such a spacious space, it's really easy to customize and install whatever you like. These 2 cages are both removable. You can remove them totally and provide much better intake. Of course, this will be possible only if you use only 2.5-inch drive, which is either only SSDs or maybe 2.5-inch mechanical drives. You can see that the top SSD is visible from here, which is really a good feature. If you remove these cages, the rest also will be visible. The area for the power supply is spacious. You can install whatever size of power supply here and it will take it. The backside fan, the exhaust fan, is movable. You can move it a little bit up or a little bit down, depending on your orientation you want. It's a nice feature to have, but I really doubt how useful it is. You have the option to install 120mm fan here for either intake or exhaust, and I would not recommend it. Having the airflow coming from the front and exhausting from the back is more than enough for me. If you have also a radiator on the top, another intake from the top, so 2 intake areas and the whole rear panel for exhaust is really more than enough. But if you want to cool, if you want additional cooling for hard disks, then you can install a small fan here. Now this is the Corsair AX1500i. It's one of the really largest power supplies in the market. If this can fit, anything can fit. Now if you see this, it can fit really easy, and there you still have a lot of space to manage your cables. This box has the accessories. Let me see what came with it. For God's sake, Corsair, 4 zip ties for such a huge case. I was really expecting more. But the screws are really good. We have all kinds of different screws with different usages, which will come in time when we do the build video. What do I like about this case? It's a stunningly looking case. I love the looks of the case, the curvy edges, the mesh, everything. Size and room inside are really great. You have lots of options for water cooling, for cable management. Your airflow is really safe with such a case. There is really nothing wrong about the design or the looks, in my opinion. It comes with LED fans in the front, which is really nice because normally people buy these fans. The LED for the black is red, which is really matching, and white for white, which is also really matching. And yellow has also white LED fans, but yellow was not available when we did this video. It has really nice potential for water cooling. You can fit up to 2 360 radiators, one in the front and one on the top. This is huge potential. Top mesh is really something nice they added in this case. Previously I used to like the 760, the Graphite 760, but the 760 for me it had a principal problem. The top was an optional cover. Either you put a cover and it will block your airflow, or you remove the cover and it will look really ugly and you have a nice airflow. This is the sweet spot. This is where they had both together, airflow and the good looking with this mesh top. Well done, Corsair. Now, whatever I didn't like in this case are minor points really, but they really need to be looked at. For such a premium brand and premium price, I'm really not expecting these issues to be there. Reset button needs to be really hidden, more difficult to press. This is very easy to press. The mesh covers that you included in the top and in the front open so easily with a little touch, which is really not good. It has to be a little more sturdy. It needs really more effort to do it. Removal of the 3.5-inch drive cages is so difficult. You need to really remove the front fans to have access to that, which is really not good. It has to be much easier to remove and relocate. And Corsair, why did my black case came without a logo? It was down. I had to re-put it back. Use better glue. Thank you. There will be a full build coming up using one of these cases. Stay tuned for that. I would like to thank Royal Focus from Dubai for making this video possible. These cases are really not available everywhere. It's difficult to find because they are new releases. They made both colors available for this review. At the end, I thank everybody for listening. I wish you liked this video. If you liked it, please press like, thumbs up, subscribe, and share. Spread the word. Thank you.